Everybody, it's your self-proclaimed metal mogul back with a video all about thrash metal. This is Thrash by name, Thrash by nature. Did a recent live stream over on the Gas Masks and Hand Grenades channel with Mark G with a C, Johnny Mac Rock and Metal Plus, and a few others, where we were discussing our sort of top 10 thrash metal desert island discs. And I noticed there were quite a lot of thrash metal songs with thrash in the title, or thrash songs about thrash metal. So there we go, thrash by name, thrash by nature. I quickly found 10. I'm sure there are many more out there, so always happy. Chat in the comments. You tell me which ones I've missed, or which of your favourite songs are out of here. Or hopefully, maybe you'll even discover some new bands as a result of this, which is ideally what this is all about. But one band that you will have heard from already, and that's Anthrax. Had to start off on one. Can you guess the song? Of course, it's Metal Thrashing Mad. Originally came out in 1984. This is my UK Music for Nations original pressing that I had as a teenager, but I picked this up. I would have picked this up in about 86 or 87. Haven't already heard. Spread the Disease, probably among the living, I would have thought, by the time I got this. So it was a little different. Didn't buy into it at first with Neil Turbin's vocals, but I've grown to love this album, and Metal Thrashing Mad is an absolutely stellar song, a thrash metal song about thrash metal. Next up, we're going to go to a Colombian band. This is Witch Trap and Trap the Witch. You see the full picture there. So these are a Colombian thrash metal band. This is their fifth studio album, I think, that came out in 2015. Although I think my copy's a reissue that may come out a year or so after that. More of a sort of rawer thrash metal sound. They have a song on here called track 7, Hard Thrashing Mania, which you cannot read there at all. Better. Hard Thrashing Mania. Thrash metal song. Thrash metal in the title. Number 3, German band. Their debut album from 1986. Tankard and Tankard. Tankard. Zombie Attack. Of course, Thrash Till Death being the song in question here. Thrash by name, thrash by nature. You don't get much more thrashy than Tankard, do you? Still, my intro to the band, although not until very recently, relative to when this came out. But I just love the rawness of it. Killer album. This is a 2017 reissue that came in the box set, which came out 2022. Another repackaged job that sucked me in and took all my money, and they were welcome to it. Now, you might not have heard of this band. This is Tyrants Reign, and it's kind of a compilation, Fragments of Time. This came out originally in around 2004. So Tyrants Reign didn't release any albums. I think they managed one official EP and a few demos, and this is the first vinyl release of the band. They've got a picture of them from originally back in the day, and a more recent one, I believe, the 2017 lineup. I don't think they have actually released anything new, but this is a really good album. This was a great find. I literally a bit of a blind buy, found it on eBay super cheap. It's on Back on Black, which is a great reissue label. I'd never heard of them before, but there we go. Thrashing Metal Maniacs is the song that qualifies it for this video, but definitely worth checking out Fragments of Time by Tyrants Reign if you have not already. Evil, UK thrash metal, Enter the Grave, their debut album from, 2007. This was on Earache. Their second song on the album is called Thrasher. It's not the last song in this list to be called Thrasher. Can you guess what other one is? It's coming up. There may well be more, actually. But Evil, the return of heads down, no nonsense thrash metal, as the hype sticker tells us. And I've loved all of the Evil albums. It took me a little bit of time to get into the latest one because change of singer and that it does take a little bit of time, but it's grown on me a lot since I first listened to it. Moving on, an album I seem to be shown a lot in videos recently, certainly thrash metal videos, but Onslaught, The Force, second album, more UK thrash. When Onslaught really came alive, when what's his name, Psyche joined on vocals, and the band switched around a little bit. Paul Mahoney was the vocalist on the first album. He moved on to bass, and then I think Jay Stallard moved from bass to guitar. So they had a bit of a reorg, but they returned with a much more, I hate to say polished thrash metal sound, but a much more full-on thrash metal sound than the first album. And their last track on here is Thrash Till Death. Flag One, the first album to released on Under One Flag, the subsidiary thrash metal subsidiary of Music for Nations. Great album. My favourite Onslaught album, hands down, no questions. Game over, man. Game over. Italian thrash metal. This is the debut album from Game Over, For Humanity. This originally came out in 2012, although I've got a later reissue, 2015 reissue on Scarlet Records. When I first heard this, I thought, wow, this is a brilliant band. Absolutely love this album. And then I went on to pick up Claiming Supremacy, which was the last album they released, which was, 6 or so years ago now. And it didn't do so much for me. I think I tend to get sucked into some newer thrash metal bands. And they generally, a lot of them, put a good twist on an old genre. But there's nowhere for them to go. I've said this before with other styles of metal or bands that are replicating the 80s sound. There's nowhere for them to go. The original bands evolved and moved on and did different things with their sound. But there's nowhere for these guys to evolve to, so it all sounds a bit samey. But For Humanity is an absolutely fantastic album. But why have I picked it? I've picked it because there's a song on here called, track 8, called Another Dose of Thrash. Well worth checking out that album. I really do like that one. Number 8, Irish thrash metalers, Gamma Bomb, their second album, Citizen Brain, from 2008. This is an Earache pressing. I actually bought this when I was in the States one year on the red vinyl variant, which was a nice thing to find. I love digging in records in foreign countries. Something I haven't done for many years now. But yeah, Gamma Bomb, killer thrash metal. I'm planning on doing a Gamma Bomb ranking video at some point because I have the full discography. But so I can't tell you where this one fits. But what I can tell you is that I can't see it now. Sentenced to Thrash. Yes, there we go. Sentenced to Thrash is the Thrash by Name, Thrash by Nature song on this album. Look at those lovely boys there from all the way from Ireland. Brilliant live band as well. Still going. They've been going for about 20 years now. Well worth checking out. Number 9. Back to Germany. The mighty Destruction and Under Attack. This, 2016 Nuclear Blast release. It must be, their 143rd album. Something like that. It's closer to 143 than 2. But yeah, if you know this album, you're thinking there isn't a song called Thrash on here. Well, you're probably right. But this version has bonus track, the last track called Thrash Attack. And it's a bonus track. It's on the album, so it qualifies. So there we go. But Under Attack, German thrash metal, Your No Destruction. Probably one of my favourite German thrash metal bands. I've never really got into like the Creators and the Sodoms of this world, but the Tankards and the Destructions, they're fine by me. And last but not least, Death Angel, the Ultraviolence, 1987, the first song on the album and the second song to be called Thrashes, although probably the original, really. Do you know what? I hadn't even thought. Was that other one a cover? No, probably not. I don't know. You let me know in the comments if it is. But this is Flag 14, Under One Flag. Thrashes, the opening track for the Ultraviolence. Easily my favourite Death Angel album of all time. And one of the ones I would have taken with me on this on that desert island I was talking about earlier. So there we have it. 10 thrash metal songs by name, thrash metal by nature. Let me know your favourite thrash metal songs with thrash metal in the title. Hope you enjoyed that. It was a bit of a throwaway video really, but wanted to get something out and enjoyed flicking through the records as always to find things that fit a theme. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.